What is going on, everyone? Breaking news. The Houston Texans are trading for former Pro Bowl running back Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. The Houston Texans get themselves a dynamic running back. Mixon is one of the best duo threat RBs in the NFL, a threat underground, a threat in the air, and this is the exact move that general manager Nick Caserio had to make. The Houston Texan offense took a step forward. Last season, only 3 100-yard rushing performances. They weren't by Dameon Pierce. They were by Devin Singletary, who has left to go to the New York Giants. But all 3 of those performances were victories. So I have no doubt that now that Joe Mixon is your starting running back, this Houston Texan offense will be one of the best in the NFL this season. Joe Mixon should come in and be a captain of this offense, a captain of the entire team. And why I love this trade is because Joe Mixon was set to be a free agent. General manager Nick Caserio said, no, I do not want to get into another bidding war for a running back. He lost the bidding war for Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles. He made the trade. If you want your guy, go out there and get your guy. I love this move for the Houston Texans. This was the fireworks. This was the headlines that we were wanting. Joe Mixon is 27 years old. There is still a lot of good football left. And we're going to talk about this trade for the Houston Texans because this was a damn good trade. Welcome, everyone, to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I am your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content, so make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And this episode was brought to you by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app, use my promo code 713HOU for a first-time bonus deposit up to $100. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Now, I think Joe Mixon is going to unlock this Houston Texan offense, and we're going to see something truly special this season. I am a huge fan of this trade. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the Houston Texans acquiring Joe Mixon, and does this change your opinion on how free agency is going? One thing I love is that Joe Mixon is a player that you can rely on to stay healthy. 17 games played this season, 14 games played last year, 16 games played in 21. He was a Pro Bowler that year. He did have an injury year where he just had 6 games played in 2020. But in 2019, 16 games. In 2018, 14 games. In 2017, 14 games. You can rely on Joe Mixon to be there. His stats this year: 1,034 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, 52 receptions for 376 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. His stats last year: 814 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, 60 receptions for 441 receiving yards, 2 tutties. And during his Pro Bowl year in 21, 1,205 yards, 13 touchdowns, 42 receptions, 314 yards, and I believe it was 3 receiving touchdowns. Joe Mixon is an offense in himself, ladies and gentlemen. He's been around good quarterback play, and I have no doubt he is going to be special on this Houston Texan offense. Man, it gets me excited because I know how bad the rushing attack was last year. It was piss poor, and it was disappointing. Let's call it what it is. The Houston Texan offense takes a huge step forward when you acquire someone like Joe Mixon. I mean, we haven't seen this good of a running back, honestly, since number 23, Arian Foster. And he is not old, 27 years old. There's still a lot of football left for Joe Mixon. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. He will have a 1,000-yard season here in Houston, and he will have his second Pro Bowl nomination. That's how high I am on the Houston Texans acquiring Joe Mixon. This feels like this is the final piece for this Houston Texan offense, and we've been wanting a running back since we found out Dameon Pierce was not the guy. Joe Mixon, welcome to the Houston Texans. I hope you ball out well enough that we are forced to give you a second contract. With that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts on the Houston Texans getting Joe Mixon, trading for him, and not waiting for him to hit free agency. For more Houston Texans content, you guys feel free to follow me for more. Go Houston. Have a very blessed day.